Welcome to Straight from the Horse's Mouth, where we cut the BS and give you the truth all about sports. Once again, I am Bryce Olden, host of Bryce Davis.
What's good?
Now, even though I just said all about sports, we are pivoting right now. And I'll let Bryce go ahead and bring it up.
Yeah. So this tweet came out from Chief Nerd. It was Billy Corgan.
Lead singer of the Smashing Pumpkins.
Lead singer of Smashing Pumpkins. There are forces in the world that go out of their way to marginalize particular voices when it comes to his opinion on where the rock music genre has gone over the past, 20, 30 years at this point.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that, on him kind of saying, full quote here, because they refuse to accept the given narrative. Rock was the greatest single social changing force of the 20th century. Here we are 25 years in the 21st century, and rock couldn't be less of an influence on the social political order. Does anybody think that's kind of strange?
So remember, rock made a lot of changes. Yeah. Right? It pretty much revolutionized an era of people. Yeah. You know, as the idea of what a teenager, the phrase, as they started to come arise, and that generation, started to kind of separate. That was like the baby boomers, whatever. That was like the first generation. That was their music. Separate from
the jazz and the big band stuff.
Well, in general, they were the first generation to be completely separate from their mom and dad. Yeah. And that ushered in, a whole new era of rock, right? Whether it's Bill Haley in the comments, or Chuck Berry, Little Richard, you know what I'm saying? Jerry Lee Lewis, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ushered in a whole new era. Elvis Presley. And then we get to the 60s and the whole, counterculture and hippies and all that kind of stuff. You had Woodstock, you know what I mean? And then you get to the 80s and you have things like Live Aid, you know what I'm saying? Like
hair metal.
It just... Well, I'm saying from the political standpoint, right? The changes that it made, you know what I mean? Like, they had they had things against apartheid.
Yeah, punk rock was like a big part of that. Yeah,
the idea of rebellion via music and being the voice of stuff like that. It truly captured what it was to be youth and young and all that kind of stuff. And it was a force for change. Yeah. And then obviously the 20th century came around and it did kind of go away. Yeah. But I also think a lot of that had to do not with people forcing it to go that way. I think that rock evolved itself out of that.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we get Live Aid is 1985. Yeah. Right? That's probably the peak of rock's powers as far as what it can do socially. Yeah. Right? Having, MTV and being in London and being in Philadelphia and broadcasting around the world and fighting for change when it comes to the famine in Ethiopia and all that kind of stuff. That was at its apex, right? Yeah. And then we get to the 90s and there's more grunge, and grunge is more internal. Yep. Right? Grunge is more
grunge was talking about the struggles of the youth in the areas that it was. Yeah. Not necessarily about going out and influence and change, but like there's stuff happening here that we're not talking about.
And grunge is different because they were just talking about how they felt but like they weren't
invoking change.
Yeah. It was just like, I'm depressed. Yeah. Or I'm sad. Or that's how it came off. I'm not saying that's what they were saying. I'm just saying that's how it came off.
It's how it came off, yeah.
Right. And that music, that once you get to that point, right, it tends to be more, the genre becomes more insular. Yeah. And everybody can't relate to that. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you phase out of that, you get to the post-grunge era, right, which kind of leads to the
new metal era,
which kind of leads to the pop-punk era. By the time we get to, the Linkin Parks and the System of a Downs and the Blink-182s or whatever, it's a stark contrast compared to hip-hop.
True.
Right?
Yeah, genre rise,
where guys were still talking about things that were happening. Yeah. In the communities and things like that.
In the world.
And people could relate to that. Yep. Way more than they could relate to, the things that these rock guys are talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like you can only relate, like Chop Suey. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like Linkin Park had a few records. They did, you know what I'm saying? But some of the other bands out at the time, especially, as we continued on and got in the indie rock scene, it became more. Yeah. The punches weren't landing as hard.
No. No, the rebellious youth became older. They joined the workforce, got jobs, they conformed. Right. Unfortunately. Right. And the new rock stars weren't trying to be rebellious. They were trying to tell their story. And that does change things. Like as much as like Smashing Pumpkins and Nirvana and all the grunge bands did, you weren't telling the story that everyone could relate to anymore.
Right.
Where hip hop, don't push me because I'm close to the edge. It's like a jungle sometimes.
Yeah.
Talking about New York in the 80s. A lot of black people could identify with that. That rebellious energy shifted to hip hop.
Right.
It just shifted to hip hop because it was the new rebellious thing, right? Nobody liked it. Oh, it's this, it's that. All the idioms that they put on rock music early on. Oh, it's devil worship and blah, 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 blah. That narrative shifted to hip hop, in my opinion. Like, I think that's what truly changed is you weren't the enemy anymore.
Right.
You were just a part of the culture, and you weren't counterculture. Everyone loved rock music. Hip hop became counterculture, and I think that's what truly, in my opinion, that's what truly happened.
I mean, hip hop almost became, like I said, like you said, they became the rock stars.
Yeah.
Right. Like when you look at, especially he said the 21st century, that's important, right? You look at the how many actual names can you even mention from rock bands from the 21st century? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they were household names. You could name Mick Jagger name rang out. Paul McCartney name rang out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Robert Plant name rang out. Like you heard Ozzy Osbourne. You know what I'm saying?
Guns N' Roses.
You know what I mean?
Axl
Rose.
Rose.
You could say in Slash. You could actually name these guys. John Bon Jovi. But you get to the 21st century, it's like how many people really knew that the lead singer of Linkin Park was Chester Bennington?
Not many.
How many people, or Mike Shinoda? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell the lead singer of System of a Down.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I know the lead singer of Blink-182. Mark Hoppus and Tom DeLonge. But how many people actually really knew that?
Yeah.
I bet you most people probably knew more of Travis Barker than they did those guys.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how many of these other bands that popped up, the Good Charlottes of the world, the Flyleafs of the world, like, how many people truly knew these bands outside of just songs and maybe a couple records here and there,
Yeah.
But we knew 50 Cent.
Yep.
We knew Eminem. We knew Eminem.
Yep.
We knew Jay-Z.
We knew
DMX.
Snoop.
Ja Rule. Like, we knew these guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even the name recognition. It's like if we don't even know your name, you're not gonna have a voice.
Yep. Facts.
Then you ain't got no clout here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think rock did it to itself. Rock got very pretentious as well.
Absolutely.
Like the older generation did not embrace the younger generation. They did not pull them along. You know what I'm saying? And eventually it's like, okay, if you're not saying anything and your forefathers aren't hyping you guys up, then why should we care what you have to say?
Yep.
Either continue to make good music, and if you don't, we're just gonna fade you out. And that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
And hip hop is kind of going through that now.
Going the same way.
Kind of going through that now.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how many new acts can we really name? You know what I'm saying? Like DJ Vlad did an interview with Ari Spears. And he was just rattling off.
I don't know who that is.
Right.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
The basketball player?
Yeah.
Throw the whole generation away.
Yeah, like, because I do the same thing. I'm like, damn, I ain't never heard this dude. Damn, I ain't never heard this guy. I ain't never heard this dude either. Like, we're getting to that point as well. But I just think rock, like just like jazz, just like classical music, it lost its influence. Yeah. And now, like
that's
I said,
that happens.
Happening in hip hop, because country's taking that spot now. You know what I mean? So,
piggybacking off of that,
right?
For rap. I saw a tweet out there that was talking about it was a quote tweet specifically. So someone was trying to call Tizo Touchdown like an industry plant, basically.
I hate that word, bro.
I hate it too.
What was that really? Just because you never heard of somebody doesn't mean they're industry plant.
But this person replied, Tizo is a generational artist. If he came out pre-2016 exactly like this, he'd be praised. But anyone who tries to be different now gets clowned on Twitter. I don't think that. When I first encountered Tizo, I thought he was pretty cool. Then I let me do a little research on Tizo Touchdown, and let's see if what he's saying kind of stands true.
I don't like his name, by the way.
What?
I don't like his name.
I don't like his name either. Pull him up.
I think the first time I heard of him was Travis Scott.
Yeah, Travis Scott.
The Utopia album. That's the first time I heard of him.
Yep. These are his top tracks on Spotify. Darling on Chromacopia.
Okay.
What You Want. Oops. Let me play that. That's his. Backstreets. His. That's 3. 1 from someone else. 4. Modern Jam.
Travis Scott.
Amen. Drake.
Okay.
Run It Up. Once again. Tyler the Creator. Lucky I'm Having. Off of what's his name? think of his name right now. Oh my God.
What does it say? Is it on there?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't say. So pull it up. It's gonna play the song.
Okay.
Don Toliver.
Okay.
Don Toliver. His next song, Third Coast, is 8. Mask, featuring Doja Cat, and Proud of Myself with Offset. Of his 10 top songs, he has 2 on his list.
Mm-hmm. That's his. That he's the feature. He's the main artist.
He's the main artist on.
The rest are all features.
The rest are all features.
Okay.
That's a problem to me. Mm-hmm. As much as you might love an artist, there's artists that I love. I loved Lupe Fiasco. I knew he wasn't ever going to be the main guy. Mm-hmm. I think Tease was kind of the same way. Like
Lupe has some hits though.
He has some hits, but it was never enough to like supplant him as like in the time where we had Lil Wayne and Young Money. He was never beating them.
Right.
He was never going to beat them.
Right.
I think Tease was going to be in that same vein where we've got this Travis and other guys. Tyler's on a rise. You're on their tracks, but their songs are your song and your hits. Mm-hmm. That's a problem to me. That's a problem for an artist who I think is very talented, but he can't rise above the feature guy. Mm-hmm. What about you? Like in terms of like a guy or an artist, like you see something, he had an image, a thing, but he can't rise above like the feature guy. Mm-hmm. What do?
Sometimes I think,
is that his lane?
Sometimes no. Okay, so when it comes to that tweet, right? Sometimes I think people overthink this. Just because you gotta look, just because someone's, if talent is all it took, there'd be way more people who are be popular.
Yeah.
Right. It could be as simple as whatever the songs he's putting out are just not hitting.
Yeah.
It's that simple. It's not hard.
Yeah.
Like if they were better songs, he made better music, then it would take off.
Yeah.
It's hard to have hit records. It's hard to get a name out there. We've done this with multiple guys.
Yep.
Right? Corday had this issue. You know what I'm saying? Just because you can sound well, rap well, whatever, doesn't mean that that's a prerequisite for you being successful.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Just because you look different, dress different, like that's not a. You know how many guys in history of music
were different?
Yeah. That didn't mean they were more successful. No.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think what Tizo is, he has a look, he has a sound. That's great. That's awesome. He has a fan base. But is he better than the crop of people that we already have? Probably not. That's why he is where he is.
Yeah.
If he was better, he'd be presented as such.
Yeah.
It's that simple. No, I mean, maybe he is getting clowned. I don't know. Russ got clowned. He's still able to eat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So getting clowned, that don't stop nothing.
No, don't stop nothing.
You know what I'm saying? Nickelback been getting clowned. Creed been getting clowned. How long? They still going on tours.
Going on tours.
You know what I mean?
So either people are lying,
right,
or just it's just the
they were lying.
Yeah, they were lying for those two.
So it's like even that's not really a good answer as well.
Yeah,
like it's not people don't like this person. Not he pre 2016. No, because pre 2016 it was still heat.
Yeah.
So you telling me pre 2016 he would be getting more listens than Drake, Nicki Minaj, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Migos,
nah,
Big Sean, Meek Mill, 2 Chainz, French Montana.
No, everyone you just listed, he's losing to.
He like no, Ray Shrimmer, he's not. Even Chance the Rapper, Mac Miller, no, he would be below those guys.
He's below the indie guys.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, so it's like it's just he's good, he isn't great.
Yeah,
and when you're a good artist, you kind of just fly in the wind sometimes. Sometimes you up here, sometimes you're down there. Sometimes you can get lifted up when you're on a big record with an artist, right?
Yeah, that's what's proven. He's got enough talent that artists want him on a track.
Right.
But that's about it.
Yeah. And sometimes that just count. It sucks, but it's just counted. It's like in the NBA. Some guys get to the NBA and they become role players.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're not talented.
Yeah.
It's just
you could go off for 30 one night.
Yeah.
But that's one night.
Right. Most of the time, if you left your own devices, you going for 10.
Yeah.
Facts. And that's just kind of maybe he is. He's a role player. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But let's not overthink this. Not every artist that you like or his talent is getting like screwed upon. No, he's just good, not great. And when you're not great, it's a lot of good artists out there.
Facts.
Not a lot of great artists.
That's
true.
And
that's the difference. Anyway, man, that's all the time we have for you guys today, man. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at Bryce David Odin. Bryce, go and tell him.
From Twitter, Bruce Leroy.
And remember, you to hear from the horse and mouth. To listen to Ass Who Told You. We out. Peace.